What's up, y'all? Steven here, okay, Bike Bonk Biff. This video is the short version of the first stage of Makuri Mash. So if you want the full version, check out the link in the description. I might try and throw it up on screen, though I've never done that, so we'll see if I figured it out. But I appreciate you for checking in, and let's get to the race. Some brief housekeeping items before we really get into the race footage here. Got a nice little overlay of the lap here. It seems like it's really flat looking at this profile, but in all reality, it's still 630 feet of climbing across 13 miles. We've got 3 laps here, 2 different opportunities to either get an arrow or a feather power up. I decided to roll with the old ASOS speed kit. And the one thing you want to look out for on this course is the Festival Harbor climb. 1.5 miles. Average gradient is only 2.1%, but it does hit a max of about 6%. 177 feet, so it's definitely not nothing. It's windy, and because everybody knows that this is the one part of the course that an attack can get away, everybody really saves their energy for this one part. Now you'll look at the profile and you'll say, okay, it's at 1.3%, the elevation map goes away, and you'll think that that's kind of the end, but it's really tricky. There's a false flat almost all the way through, well past the banner. It's a little surprise this first lap with the 4-minute, 10-second effort. This is the fastest that we go through the entire time. Now if you're checking my power numbers on the bottom, you can see that after this first lap, things slow down significantly. And again, it's that same thought process that everybody's having where, oh, I gotta save all my energy for this big climb. And that's kind of what makes this course a little boring, in my opinion. One interesting thing I did notice are these snowball effects, where on these little kicks, if you're in the front of the group leading them, the whole group will push up behind you because of the draft. There's another one right here. Now, on the first lap, it might be a little tricky to take advantage of because everybody's moving so quickly, but on the second and the third lap, when you start to get tired, I would just keep that in mind, that you can rest for a few seconds with the draft a little bit longer and not necessarily lead out these hard efforts. So again, we come through the sprint. Again, another pretty hard effort. You gotta continue pushing on. And this ends up being the slowest of the 3 laps as far as overall time. For those keeping track at home, the last effort was 4:10, so it was about 7 seconds slower. Honestly, not that much. I'm gonna fast forward us to the bend here, at least starting from the final climb. Nothing happens going through the banners, but we do get an exciting move here that I follow on the draft. So everybody comes up behind my wheel. Again, you see that snowball effect where everybody pulls through. And I'm motivated. I'm standing up the entire time. I thought that this was going to be my fastest effort, and it wasn't. And I'm lucky enough to be able to take advantage of this draft as we push through and I save my arrow. Now that we're near the end, we'll check in and go with the real-time footage.
All right. Got the sprint. It's kind of our bread and butter, but that was a really hard effort. 3 of them. We'll see what we can do. I've got the arrow. It's gonna be tough. It's a strong group. And it's a fast finish. I want to slightly ease towards the back. I don't think there's enough time to do that. Oh, too close. Okay. Slight incline. There we go. I think he's going a little too early. Here's the incline. Oh, we were so close. Let's go! Let's go! Oh. Oh! Let's go. Oh! Give me a minute to recover. Now let's check back in. Oh! Alright, y'all. Now that I've had a second to gather myself, let's check some power numbers. I mean, we did perfect tactics there. I tried to rest as much as I could, but you could see you just hit big numbers each time. Max out at 888 watts. That's really good for 3 hard efforts right before it. Didn't quite get any power PVs, maybe close to 26 minutes, but I mean now that we're racing with the A's, I mean this is all about tactics, and it goes to show why if you know the course profile, I mean you know when to push and when not to. You know, I think I saw a bunch of people get dropped at the top of these climbs because that false flat, you just got to keep the pedal on. And that sprint, I mean, we started that. We could have started a little bit early to peek out our head a bit, but that's almost perfect. So thank you for tuning in. If you like this sort of thing, please consider liking the video, leaving a comment on anything I can improve, maybe even subscribe to the channel. As always, stay strong. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.